What's up, everybody? Good morning. And we are starting the live stream for test number 8, which is the last test of the practice test available on Khan Academy. And we are going to start off with the no calculator section today. And then next week, we're going to finish up with the calculator section, which means that by next week, we will have gone through every single Khan Academy SAT test together, which is pretty cool. So today I got to jump right into it, and we got to start the timer and start going because I got to get to school pretty soon. School has begun for me a couple weeks ago, so that is what it is. So let's begin. I just always like to have my phone here to make sure the live stream is working. It looks like everything is going. It looks like my audio is coming through, so I'm pretty sure we are good to go. I like to check this. And it seems as though we are in good shape. Let me just unmute. It's like my audio is coming. Yep. All right, beautiful. Let's begin. Start the timer. No calculator section is always my favorite. Let's go. 3x plus x plus x. So let's go. Let's say it's 3x, 4x, 5x, 6x minus 5. So I'm going to simplify that. 6x minus 5 equals 7 plus 2x. This becomes 4x by subtracting 2x, subtracting 2x, adding 5 equals 12x equals 3, right? Okay, next. It says the graph above shows the distance traveled d in feet by product or on a conveyor belt m minutes after the product is placed in the belt. Which of the following equations correlates correctly relates d and m? So let's look at the slope. First of all, it should be d, because that's the y. It should be d equals m, and then what's the slope? It's going up 2 over 1. And we got a 2 there. No y-intercept, so there's 0 here. D equals 2m. That should be our equation. And if you're not sure, you can plug in values. Like, if we plug in 2 for m, we should get 4 for d, right? 2 for m, and we're at 4. If we plug in 1, we should get 2. 1, 2. So it works. Next, the formula is often used by project managers to compute E, the estimated time to complete a job, where O is the shortest completion time, P is the longest time, M is the most likely. Which the following gives P. Forget all that. None of that mattered. All we're going to do is give P in terms of, it means we have to isolate P. So I'm going to show you how we do it. O plus 4M plus P over 6. First, multiply both sides by 6. 6E equals O plus 4M plus P. Now I'm going to minus O and minus 4M. We're going to do it in one step to be a little faster. Goodbye, goodbye. P equals 6E minus O minus 4M. This guy. Right? Next, in the figure above, RT equals TU, what is the value of X? So if RT equals TU, that means that this is an isosceles triangle. So let me show you how I'm going to draw this. So I'm just going to go piece by piece, right? You don't have to have a big picture necessarily when you're doing these. I'm just saying, hey, it's telling us that RT equals TU. That means these two angles are equal to each other. We have to subtract 114 from 180. That is 66. That means this is 33 and this is 33. It's the only way these two angles are equal because they all have to add up to 180. All right, so now what does that mean? And then now we got this other triangle, right, like this. And let's see, what does it want? It wants this angle over here. So we'll call that X. Let's see, 114, we just have to plug and play. We know that this is 31. We know that if this is 114, these two are supplementary. So this angle is 66. And this is a triangle. 66 plus 31 is 97. They all have to add up to 180. So this one over here is, is 83. Oh, man. This is a vertical angle. So this is 83. 83 plus 33 is 116, I believe. 111, 116. And then this one has to be 180 minus 116, which is 64. Okay, let's see if that's an option. Yeah, I think that's right. That was a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. The width of a dance floor is W feet. The length of the floor, all right, let's do it the other way. The width, come on. The width of a dance floor is 6. The length is 6 feet longer than the width. oops, width is W. This one is 6 feet longer than W. Which of the following expresses the perimeter in terms of W? Well, the perimeter, we just add up all the sides. So W plus 6. And then we have to double it because it's this, and then this. So we could, and then let's simplify this. This is 2W plus 6 times 2, which becomes 4W plus 12, right? I think we're making pretty decent time. Y is greater than 2x minus 1. 2x is greater than 5. Which of the following consists of the y coordinates of all the points that satisfy the system of inequalities above? So we need the y coordinates. So let me think about how to do this. We could do a little substitution. But we know that this is, so 2x is greater than 5. So this is going to be greater than 5 always. So it's kind of like y is greater than 5 minus 1, y is greater than 4. So y should be greater than 4 for all these values just by substitution. I want to make sure that's right. And if we were to graph it, right, let's just see really quickly. X is greater than 5 halves. So we have, I'm just going to look at the graphical representation. So minus 1, right, up 2 over. Here's this line, and it's everything up here. And then x would be 5 halves, so let's say 1, 2, that's 2.5. Right, so it's in this zone, and we just have to assume that these guys kind of cross at 4, and I think they do. I think that's actually right, because 5 halves, and that's 4 at 5.5. I mean, so 2.5 is 5, 4. Yeah, this is definitely right. You could just do substitution like I did. You don't need to graph it out. I was just kind of rethinking about it. Then we have this guy. What is the solution set of the equation above? Here's how I'm going to approach this. First, let's isolate that square root. 2x plus 6 equals, subtract 4 from both sides. We get x minus 1, right? 3 minus 4 is 1. Then negative 1. Then let's square everything. 2x plus 6 equals x squared minus 2x plus 1. I'm foiling. I'm just being like x minus 1 times x minus 1. That's what this is. And now let's get everything on one side and equal to 0. So I'm going to move all these guys over, minus 2x and minus 6, minus 2x, minus 6. Now we have x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. And then I'm going to factor. And we have x5 minus plus 1. Why did I do that? What multiplies to negative 5 adds to negative 4. Negative 5 and 1 add to negative 4, multiply negative 5. So that means our solutions are anything that drop this to 0, that make each one of these terms go to 0. So this is 5 and negative 1, which is this right here. We should plug them back in to make sure that's right. Negative 1, plug in here, gives us 4, 2 plus 4, 6. Oh, wait. Hold on, sorry. Negative 1. 4, square root of 4 is 2, plus 4 is 6. And then, I think negative 1 is actually not a good solution. 5, 10, 16, 4, plus 4 is 8. 8. So the negative 1 is actually out, even though we got this value. So it's just 5. It's very tricky. You got to make sure to check those answers. F of x equals x cubed minus 9x, this, which expresses, all right, so they just want this. X cubed minus 9x over, right, f of x over g of x, x squared minus 2x minus 3. I've said this before in my SAT video course, and I've said this before in these. Just if you're not sure what to do, just start factoring. So I'm going to pull out an x on top, x times x squared minus 9. On the bottom, actually I'm going to factor this further. This becomes a difference of squares. X times x plus 3, x minus 3. So you see a quadratic, just factor, and you'll find some cool things out, I guarantee it. So now we've got the bottom one, what multiplies to negative 3 and adds to negative 2, to minus 3 plus 1. Look what happens now. Now we can, boom, cancel these guys out. We got x times x plus 3 over x plus 1. X times x plus 3 over x plus 1. And that's it. You can't factor it any more than that. Question number 9. This is a circle, and it's a circle. Point P is on the circle and has coordinates 10, negative 5. If PQ is a diameter of the circle, what are the coordinates of Q? So look, this tells us a lot. This tells us that the radius is the square root of this value. Radius equals 4, therefore diameter equals 8. So that means that point P is on the circle. So we're saying the distance from this to whichever point is right has to have a distance of 8. And what's the best way to do this? Let me think. Yeah, so I'm going to just use the distance formula. The distance formula is x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. And we already know that we got 10 minus something plus, what is the y value? Negative 5 minus something. And this has to be equal to 8. So let's think about some values here, which means under here, really, we're looking for a square root of 64. So even if we remove this square root symbol, we know that this whole value here has to equal 64 because the square root of 64 gives us 8. So let's just plug and chug. If we get 2 here for x, it would be 8 squared plus, and then negative 5 here would be positive 5. That would 0 out. Hey, this actually works. This actually works. But let's just look at these other ones quickly. 6, we'd get 4 squared plus 4 squared, say 32. No, here we get 4 squared plus 0. That wouldn't work. 4 squared plus 4 squared. So that wouldn't work. All right, it's that first one. A group of people, of 202 people, went on an overnight camping trip taking 60 tents. Some of the tents held 2 people. All right, so X tents held 2 people, and some tents held 4 people. Equals. So we have this many and this many. Assuming all the tents were filled to capacity. So how many tents? Okay. So this is a system of equations, by the way. So this is the 2 people tent. This is the 4 people tent. And we have this many people plus this many people equals 202. This is the total amount of people. And then we also know that x plus y, the total number of tents, equals 60. Now let's solve the system of equations. I'm going to multiply the bottom one by negative 2. And we get negative 2x minus 2y equals negative 120. And now we just add these 2 equations. Let me just quickly remove this. We get these guys go away. 2y equals 82 divided by 2 divided by 2. Y equals 41. Boom. And oh wait, what did they want to know? How many of the tents were 2-person tents? Y is the 4-person tents, so we just subtract it from 60 and we get 19. So 19 2-person tents. Which of the following could be the equation for the graph above? So this goes 1, 2. Let's see. I'm going to look at the zeros and determine it that way. It can't be, it's not these because these are to the, it's not A or C because it needs to go, it has to be to the 4th power, actually. So it's either B or D. But you don't necessarily, I think, need to know that. Okay, so let's eliminate it this way. B or D, it's not D. Because 2, this would mean negative 2 and positive 3 are zeros. So let's eliminate it. A, B, C, D. So we can eliminate this one and this one on the basis that the zeros are wrong. And then between A and B, I'm going with B because the power is wrong. With something to the 3rd power, it's going to go like this, right? It should have, at most, if possible, 3 intercept values. So, and you can tell this actually has 3, but it's only because this one just touches it. You see how it's going up and up at both ends because it's a even root. If you see that it would, if you multiply this out, it become x to the 4th. So that's why I know it has to be this, because really our function is going like this, which it doesn't, but it could have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So anyways, it's that guy. Next, number 12. Okay, oh my god, we gotta hustle. Okay, so we are way behind on time because we are past the halfway point for time. So I'm just going to have to start solving. 2a over b equals 1/2. What is the value of b over a? So let's cross multiply. We get b equals 4a. And then we want b over a is 4. Next. 13 is... Oil and gas production in certain area dropped from 4 million barrels in 2009 to 1.9 in 2013. Assuming decrease the constant rate, which of the following linear functions best models the million barrels 2 years. Okay, so that means in 13 years. So 13, it's a change of 13. And here it's a change of 2.1 negative. So negative 21 over 130 is the slope. So B and D are out, the wrong slope. It's either A or C, and it's a drop. So it's this guy. Okay, and then how many solutions are there to the system of equations above? That should be... It should be either 1 or 2. It just depends if they intersect or not. And how would I determine that? Let's see. So it would only be none if they don't intersect. So y equals 5x minus 8. Oh, wait, we can set them equal to each other. Duh. All right. So 5x minus 8 equals x squared plus 3x minus 7. X squared. I'm subtracting 5x minus 2x. I'm adding 8 plus 1 equals 0. X minus 1 is 1. It's just 1. Exactly one solution. All right. Sorry, I got to go a little faster now. I hope you can still understand what I'm doing. G of x equals 2x minus 1. This equals 1 minus gx. What is the value of h of 0? So we want h. So h of x equals 1 minus 2x plus 1. See, I'm distributing that negative. That becomes equals 2 minus 2x. And we want to know when we plug in 0. 0, this goes away. It's 2. Okay, we did a good job there because now we're kind of back on track. These are going to be easier. A is a solution, and A, what is the value of A? We just got to factor, right? If all else fails, you're not sure what to do, just factor. So what it multiplies negative 12 adds to positive 3 plus 4 minus 3. So the solutions are 3 and negative 4. They want the positive one, so it's 3. Question 17. Oh, come on. The sum of this and this can be written in the form ax squared plus bx. What is a plus b plus c? All right, first, we just got to combine everything. I'm going to do it like this. Negative 2x squared plus x plus 31. 3x squared plus 7x. And I'm just going to add it like this. This will be easier. So this becomes x squared plus 8x negative 8. So that is 30. And then minus 7 is 23. Okay. So A is 1, B is 8, C is 23. So this becomes, I'm going to add this first, 24 plus 8 is 32. I think that's good. Next one, we got a system of equations. What is the value of y? Let's go ahead and it's perfectly set up for elimination. So this actually isn't too hard. We just add these guys. X's cancel out, right? We got 4y equals negative 3.5 plus 9.5 is 6. Divided by 4, divided by 4. We got y equals 6/4 or 3/2. And let's just make sure that's right. 3/2, and that's which is 1.5 actually. Let's do it with decimals since this is decimals. 1.5, and that means this should be negative 5. 5. X equals 5. Y equals 1.5. I'm just testing it. And then here, if x equals 5, y equals 1.5 times 3 is 4.5. 4.5 is 9.5. So it's right. Y equals 1.5. Right? Yeah. Okay, good. 2 questions left. We got 7 minutes. That's about the pocket that I like. Maybe 5 minutes at this point. The startup company opened with 8 employees. The company's growth plan assumes that 2 new employees will be hired each. Okay, 8. 2 new employees will be hired each quarter. Okay, for the first 5 years. Y equals ax plus b So the B is obviously 8. We just need the slope. Y, number of employees Y employed by the company X quarters after the company opened. So it's just 3X. Oh, it's 8. Why is it even asking? 8 is where we start with. That's always our starting value, our y-intercept. Hope I didn't do that too quickly. Oh, I actually know this would be 2 new employees. It doesn't matter though. It just wants B, so I think that's right. It just seems a little too simple. But we'll see when we submit it. And last, we got this guy. I love these problems. And in circle, point A is the center, and length BC is 2/5 of the circumference of the circle. What is the value of X? So look, if it's 2/5, this is actually not too bad. We always know that then that's proportionate to X over 360. It says this is BC from here to here is 2/5. Therefore, this must be 2/5 of the total 360. Or we can say like this, and then we just cross multiply. 5x equals 720. Divide by 5, divide by 5. And that's 72 times 2 is 144. Right? 500, 700. Yeah, okay, 144. I think that's right. I'm running late to go to school, and I know we have 5 minutes left. Normally I go back and check, but I actually have to leave. So I'm going to hopefully see, and let's see how we did. If there's any wrong ones, I'm going to quickly review them. Boom. All right, all 20 are good. So that is it for the live stream today. I hope you guys found that helpful. Next week, we're finishing up all the Khan Academy tests. We're doing test number 8, calculator section. Make sure to tune in. If you guys are studying, good luck. Thank you guys so much, and have a great Wednesday. See you guys next time.